It is now 1 month since October the 7th. Batsheva, you must be going through living hell. Tell me about that night and what happened to your family.
At about 10 o'clock, the Hamas terrorist, entered our house. They bombed the door, I don't know how, and they shot it out from outside the door. And they entered the safe room. Me and my 3 children were sitting very, very close to each other. And 4 terrorists went in with uniform, guns, and they started to shout at us in Arab, and said also, come in English. So we understood they want to take us. They took us outside of the safe room. We saw Ohad sitting, bleeding, injured, but he was still alive. He spoke to us, he told us he loves us, that we should walk with them. They brought 2 motorcycles. On the first motorcycle, they put Eitan, my son, and the baby on terrorist hands. Me and Yael, my daughter, she's 10 years old, she's sitting here. We sat on the second motorcycle. Luckily, the baby was crying, so they gave me the baby. So I was with my 2 daughters on the second motorcycle. Eitan was alone on the first motorcycle. Then we start driving to Gaza through the kibbutz. The kibbutz was burning. It was horror. Very near to Gaza border, 2 tanks of the army started to drive at the fields, and the terrorists were running. There was a big chaos. Our motorcycle were falling. This was the last moment I saw Eitan, my son. His motorcycle continued to Gaza. Me and my 2 daughters, we managed to escape through the fields. We went 3.5 hours with pajamas, no shoes, no telephones. They took the phones. We were running. It was very scary because we saw many terrorists around, but luckily we made it. I saw from far that the northern part of the kibbutz is not burning like the other, all the parts of the kibbutz, so I decided to go there. And it was a good decision because when we arrived there, a bus of soldiers has come, and they took us from there, from the dangerous. When I got up to the bus, I asked from one of the soldiers a phone. I called Ohad's sisters, and I told her to send someone to the house because I think Ohad is dead at the house. After many hours, someone entered the house and Ohad was not there. We don't know anything about Ohad and about Eitan, my son. I know Eitan is alone. He's only 12. No child should be alone without his mother.
Renana, you weren't with your 2 sons. You have 2 sons as well, all 12 and 16. You weren't together on that night. What happened? What do you know about what happened to them?
They were sleeping alone at my house. I was away on a normal world. It sounds, logical to leave 2 boys together. And they were also, they went to the safe room as the alert went off, and I was on the phone to them. And we started getting text messages from other members of the community saying there are terrorists walking outside, as Batsheva was just describing, breaking into houses, shooting, burning families alive. I will save you the graphics of the text messages, but it was just a horror movie. Yes, a pogrom. You know, they use the word Holocaust, and for me it's very difficult because my grandparents are Holocaust survivors. But so, you know, the comparison is very difficult for me, but it was a Holocaust, a complete massacre. Anyway, about my boy was on the phone to me all the time, and they said they could hear gunshots outside, and I was trying to calm them, saying it's the army coming to help. And about 2 hours after this horror started, they were on the phone to me whispering, "Someone's coming in, someone's broken the door." And a couple of minutes later I could hear voices in Arabic shouting, grown men. And the door to the safe room broke, even though my son, my eldest, was trying really hard to hold it. He wasn't strong enough, obviously, though he considers himself a strong lad. And the last thing I heard was my 12-year-old, Yagil, begging, saying, "Don't take me, I'm too young. You can't take me, I'm too young." He was repeating it a couple of times, and then the phone hung up and the line went off. And that was the last time I heard of them.
Hadass, 5 members of your family were taken by Hamas terrorists on that night. What do you know about what happened to them?
7 of October, my family break apart. 5 members of my family been kidnapped. 2 of them been murdered already. My mom, dear, sweet mom, and my niece, miracle girl. I want you to imagine, any mom in the world, to imagine for 1 minute, your child, your young little boy or girl, being kidnapped suddenly from their safe house with pajama from their bed. No shoes, no nothing, just kidnapped like that. Cruelly way, merciless way, cruelly way. Been holding like that. When they helpless, terrified, confused. I saw it in a movie. They just
One of the
videos of my son.
Videos.
My son, my Erez, sensitive, sweet, fragile boy, which have already
Traumatized.
panic
Anxiety
attack.
and panic.
He had already in normal days panic attacks. 20 years we are bombing. I'm trying to think, you know, he sent me last message was, "Mom, be quiet, I love you."
So
and then
he
he's been
was trying to
taken.
protect you.
He's been taken from his bed with my daughter Sahar. She's 16 years old, and he's been held like that, and they been kept. They've been held now in a deep tunnels, underground, 40 meters underground. They can't see the sky. They can't see the sun. Can you imagine? And you don't know for how long. It can be 2 days. It can be 2 years. It can be forever. We don't know. They come back alive or not. No information. Nothing. We don't know nothing. They just disappeared from our life in 1 day, and that's it.
Do you feel that enough attention and priority is being given to the plight of the hostages
Release
now?
them immediately. Release the children.
I
and
must say
hostage
something
immediately.
about priorities. It's not the question. We're not the ones that you should be questioning this question. We're mothers. We want our children home.
We
And
want our
children
children.
are not part of this conflict. Nowhere else.
They are victim of this conflict.
Exactly. And they're victims of this conflict on both sides. So we just want our children back. And
Safe and healthy.
And as far as we're concerned, this is the priority, and this is why we're here.
What would you say to those who are holding your children right now?
I want to say to them that they're children. Think of your own children I'm sure Hamas also has children.
Families, children.
I'm sure that you have families, and I want you to remember that they're children. And please take care of them as children. And release them.
Save them.
Release them now.
Immediately. Send them home. We want to hug them. We want to smell them. We want to protect them.
You have mothers of your own. This is against all rules of humanity, all rules of Islam. Just release them and send them home.
You have the opportunity to show your humanity now.
Exactly.
And Bathsheba, if you could get a message to your boy now.
Itanime, I hope you will find strength. We love you very much. I'm waiting for you so much.
Miss them. Miss them.
We are doing anything we can to bring you home, and you will be home soon. And you're strong lads, all of you, and girls. And you will be home soon, so hang on. Hang in
The
there.
whole world is fighting for you.
And we love you.
The whole world. And we miss you so much.
It's very hard to sleep when you don't know where is your son. It's very hard to eat when you don't know if he's eating. We live in a long nightmare and we can't see the end.
And just tell me about your son and what he's like.
Eitan is a very, very special boy. He loves football, like lots of boys. He's playing from when he was very small. He adores Manchester United. He's a very smart boy. He started learning at
The science class.
He was very, very good at math. He was reading a lot. He was reading all the books of Percy Jackson. He loved them very much. Before he was kidnapped, I ordered him the new book of Percy Jackson, but he didn't arrive. The book was not arriving. The book has arrived 2 days ago, and he's waiting for him to read it.
Yeah, Gil is a very lively person, always in the center of attention, a very noisy TikToker. Yeah, exactly. Makes everyone laugh around him all the time, always smiling, always making so much noise. He's due to celebrate his bar mitzvah soon, and I'm waiting on his return to do so, and it will be a big celebration. Or is a very sensitive, very shy at heart young man. Well, he's not a man yet, but he's a heart that a child was built around it. He's very kind to other people, very sensitive to other people's feelings. And he practically lives in the gym because he really wants to be strong. Obviously, that didn't help him now.
My Sarah, she's a beautiful girl, teenager. Huge heart, always helps everybody. A lot of friends. She loves to draw. She's an artist. She's very creative. She likes to have nice clothes, nice jewelry. She always, spend a lot of time in front of the mirror. She loves herself, And my Erez is small boy, sensitive, innocent. He loves to ride horses. He have a Tinkerbell horse, their name. He loves to ride bike, mountain bike. We just celebrate his birthday, 12 years. It was a surrealistic birthday without him.
Yeah.
We have a big, nice bike waiting for him, and big cake with his face.
Just imagine it was your brother or sister or child or relative of any sort. I could not relate to this violence.
To any child.
Exactly, to any child. I wouldn't imagine myself doing that to children from Gaza or from the Ukraine or from wherever in the world. They're children.
Victim.
And I think the hatred has gone too far. You know, the last call, Yagil was with me on the phone saying, begging for his life. This has to be the last call that the mother gets of this sort. This has to be the last terror attack. This has to be the last time a horror like this happens anywhere in the world.
We want them
And
safe.
this violence all over the world now is so sad. It's so sad that humans prefer to choose war and violence over living a normal, peaceful life. I'm sorry, I can't relate to it.